So in this chapter, part 2, modernization. Okay, now we see that the communist government. Okay, it came into power. ये हमने देखा था उस दिन. तो after defeating हमने एक टाइम पे ये देखा था that Q Mindaw and the communists they came together against the war. Okay, then we saw that there was a civil war between whom? Between this communist government and the Q Mindaw or the republic. Okay, so here this communist government they got victorious and they formed the government in the year 1949. Okay, the communist government, there was a civil war between whom? Between the communists and the Kuomintang later, and then you can see this communist government they got victory and they formed the government there. Now there was a party of communist government in China. Okay, so in October 1949. So when we talk about this communist government, okay, it was based on the principle of new democracy. So new democracy, it means that you can see in alliances of all the classes. It is an alliance. ये गठबंधन है किसके? विभिन्न सामाजिक समूह के बीच में और the classes और the social classes. Okay? जबकि हमने ये देखा था कि उस कम्युनिस्ट में किसको प्रेफरेंस मिल रहा था? जो हमने कल थर्ड इंटरनेशनल में देखा था, इट वॉज द वर्कर्स, है कि नहीं है? और द वर्किंग क्लास, इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट दे हैव टेकन ऑल द क्लासेस. It is our new democracy. It is based on the principle of new democracy, and new democracy it means it's an alliance of all the classes. So here you can see that when we talk about the economy under this government, so अब हम किसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं? इकोनॉमी अंडर. so सरकार ने क्या किया? पूरा का पूरा अर्थव्यवस्था अपने हाथों पे ले लिया अंडर गवर्नमेंट कंट्रोल. अगर हम अर्थव्यवस्था की बात करते हैं, चाइना का पूरा कम्युनिस्ट ने अपने हाथ में ले लिया. इसमें हमें ये देखने को मिलता है दैट जो प्राइवेट एंटरप्राइजेस है, और you can see private ownership of land, they ended. सबसे अहम बात हमने क्या देखा है इसमें? हमने कहा पूरी की पूरी अर्थव्यवस्था कम्युनिस्ट गवर्नमेंट के हाथ में आ गई, जहाँ पे प्राइवेट एंटरप्राइजेस दे एंडेड द प्राइवेट एंटरप्राइजेस एज वेल एज द प्राइवेट ओनरशिप ऑफ लैंड. ओके, सो नाउ even the government, so you can see what is private ownership. जब उन्होंने एंड किया तो उन्होंने किस पे बल दिया? कलेक्टिव फार्मिंग. ठीक है, कलेक्टिव फार्मिंग को उन्होंने बल दिया. लेकिन ये जो व्यवस्था थी, जो अर्थव्यवस्था उन्होंने अपनाई, ये ज़्यादा दिन नहीं चली और 1953 में आके इसको बंद कर दिया. ठीक है, उसके बाद एक मूवमेंट आता है the government, it would launch a socialist program that we call the Great Leap Forward Movement. As they ended their policy of before the 1953 whatever policy they had adopted, they ended that and they decided that they will launch a new program that is also Great Leap Forward Movement. So what is this Great Leap Forward Movement? It is a policy to stimulate what? Industrialization, growth of industry. Okay, industrialization, or you can see growth of industry. So when can be asked, the Great Leap Forward movement, which was launched by the government, okay, 1953, they decided to launch a program which was based on the industrialization or growth of industries. Okay. So what was there? You can see that people here, they were encouraged to set up what? Steel furnace in their backyard. Okay. Even in the rural area, land would be collectively owned and cultivated. It was started. So you can see in 1958, by 1950 there were 26,000 communes covering 98% of the farm population. तो यहाँ पर आप देख लो in this page, okay, 251. And you can see that in the rural area, people commune. Okay, people commune means where they have to collectively, where land would be collectively owned and it should be cultivated and the profit should be distributed among them. And then when it was started, you can see how many 26 communes covering the 98% of the farm population. तो यहाँ पे ये क्या कहता है कि so you can see Mao was able to mobilize the masses. His concerns was what? Creating a socialist man. So Mao Zedong, okay. So his concern was what? Creating a socialist man, in which you can see they could share the ownership. As a socialist man, they could share their ownership or the resources. Okay. So, and who would have 5 laws? As far the whatever socialist man concerned, he has and he was concerned that we want to make the man a socialist man as well as the sharing of the ownership or the resources, and then the man should have 5 love. 5 love means love with the fatherland, people, labor, science, and public property. So, and what was his program? You can see that he created, जैसे आप देखते हैं all China Democratic Women Federation, it had 7 crore members. Then, okay, here you can see as the parties were formed there, okay, you can see that another, it was formed All China Student Federation, where 32,89,029, these were there in this federation, the members in this federation that was formed by Mao. Okay. So here you can see that party, okay, CCP we talk about Mao Zedong, okay. तो आप उसके अगेंस्ट में भी होंगे जिसकी पॉलिसीज है, ओके, who were against these objectives and method that was kept by Mao Zedong, okay. It did not appeal everyone in the party. So in 1953-54, some were urging more attention to industrial organization as he took the decision of the that making this movement, Great Leap Forward movement, है कि नहीं है. हमने क्या देखा, माओ जेडोंग की पॉलिसी अभी हमने पढ़ी. पॉलिसी में हमने कौन सी पॉलिसी पढ़ी? ग्रेट लीप, प्लीज टेल क्लास, यू हैव इट, ग्रेट लीप फॉरवर्ड मूवमेंट, ओके, ये हमने देखी. तो ये फॉरवर्ड मूवमेंट कैसे आया? आप देखते हैं कि उनके जो नीतियों के अगेंस्ट में भी कोई थे जिन्होंने उनकी नीतियों को अपोज किया, पहली वाली नीति को. उसके बाद उन्होंने क्या करा? बदले में क्या किया? इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन. 1950-53 में इनको आलोचना का सामना करना पड़ा. 54 में बदले में उन्होंने कौन सी नीति लाई? ग्रेट लीप फॉरवर्ड मूवमेंट लेकर आए, जिसमें ग्रोथ ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन को बढ़ावा दिया गया. इज दिस क्लियर? सो हियर कम्स 2 important things in your book is the Liu Shaoqi and another one is the Deng Xiaoping, okay. they want to modify what? So these two was there to modify what? Modify the policy of the commune as it was not working effectively. So they were one who earlier they opposed, and they were the one who wanted to modify the policy of the commune as it was not effective. Now come conflicting vision, or you can see cultural revolution. Is there a topic? You can see here conflicting vision at 1965 to 78. So 1965 to 78, it is known as the Cultural Revolution in China. Is this clear? This is known as Cultural Revolution in China. This period starts from 1966 onward, but generally we call it Cultural Revolution. So here when we talk about conflicting vision, one is the Mao, okay, as he wanted to create a socialist man, है कि नहीं है? अभी हमने देखा he wanted to create a socialist man. आप कुछ लोग इस आइडियोलॉजी को क्या मानते हैं? इसको सिर्फ वो कहते हैं that Mao emphasized on ideology rather than expertise. Is this clear? Mao generally emphasized on ideology, उनका विचारधारा पर ज्यादा विश्वास है rather than he believe on the skill or the knowledge. Okay, then यहाँ पर एक ऐसे विचारधारा हमने देखो कॉन्फ्लिक्टिंग विजन दो लोगों के बीच में हो सकता है ना, ठीक है. तो माओ ने इनको क्या किया, क्रिटिक्स की उसके लिए इन्होंने देखो टू काउंटर हिज क्रिटिक, ओके, माओ टू काउंटर हिज क्रिटिक व्हाट ही डिड, he launched the great proletarian cultural revolution. That is there in your book, beta. So the great proletarian cultural revolution to counter his critics. Okay. So here what is there in the proletarian cultural revolution? You can see it is a political movement. As it is cultural here, but it is what? It is a political movement initiated by whom? Initiated by whom? Mao Zedong. Okay, so this is a political movement initiated by Mao Zedong that lasted from 1966 to 1976. It was a campaign in China ordered by Mao Zedong to get rid of the opponent. So he launched a campaign against whom to get rid from his opponent. Okay, so he instilled revolutionary values in the, and what was the main intention of his launching this proletarian cultural movement? To instill the revolutionary feelings among the youth. Is this clear? So this proletarian cultural movement instilled revolutionary values in the younger generation. So he started what? Here you can see a name, Red Guard, which was generally made up of what? Consists of students and army. Okay, so they were used under this campaign. Is this clear?